I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. We continue now with Malachi. The Lord has chastised the Jews, especially the priests, for their polluting of the offerings and marrying of strange wives. So we get chapter 3 now. The Lord's messenger shall prepare the way for the second coming. Christ shall sit in judgment. Israel commanded to pay tithes and offerings. They keep a book of remembrance. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, and as in former years. And I will come near to you to judgment. And I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So who is this messenger that is going to come and prepare the way? This is Joseph Smith, the messenger that shall come and prepare the way. And then the Lord comes suddenly to his temple. The Joseph Smith and the restoration, that is the messenger coming and preparing the way. The Lord coming suddenly to his temple is the Kirtland Temple, the dedication and the visions and everything that happened at that time. That is the fulfillment of this prophecy. The rest of this is the second coming, is during the millennium, or during the second coming, the abide the day, he is as a refiner's fire. This is the purging of the wicked off the earth. During the millennium, we have the offerings are renewed, and they are once again accepted of God. That like who's being judged here. Sorcerers, adulterers, liars, the false swearers, oppressing the hireling in his wages. That's an interesting one. See, I am not a communist. I do not believe in that philosophy. But I do believe that there is some wickedness in the world of purposely paying less or more. The idea is usually that you rent out stuff. You say, oh, I'll pay you $10 an hour, but you have to rent my equipment, and that's going to cost you $3, and all that stuff. And you whittle down the wages. That's the kind of stuff I think he's talking about here. He's not talking about people signing a contract to do a job for a certain wage and then complaining that they didn't get more. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about actual oppression. And that doesn't really happen often in the United States, but it does happen in other nations. And it does happen here to some extent, but very, very rarely. It's just not common anymore. Anyways, verse 7. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. Now this is a famous passage of Scripture about the windows of heaven and tithing. And a lot of people, not in the church, but mainly out of the church, that they use this. They talk about tithing. Oh, tithing is supposed to go to support the priest. Remember, in the law of Moses, tithing went to support the Levites. But they forget that the Levites also paid a tithe. The people gave 10% to the Levites, and then the Levites took 10% of what they were given and sacrificed it to the Lord. They dedicated it to the Lord. So in the modern day, our tithing works a little differently because our economy is different. But the blessings of tithing are still there. And the blessings aren't just personal blessings. The blessings aren't just that I will be blessed if I pay my tithing. The blessings are if the nation pays tithing. If the people as a whole follow the law of tithing, then there will be no droughts. There will be no famines. The land will produce prodigiously. Verse 13. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. I like this last one. This is something that is very common in the modern day. What profit is there in serving God? People look around and there's, if we turn away from God, if we serve the secular world, then there's profit in it. We make money. We can live very happily in this world if we turn away from God. That is a very common thing, but it won't last. And in the end, God makes a distinction between those who have served him and those who have not. And so while we may have temporary happiness in this life, we may have a temporary success in this life, in the end, it is those who serve God that have the greatest success. I leave that here, and we have one last chapter in Malachi. And so we will see you there.